focusing on this, and participants from our PG students, we have MO with other institutes that participants also join here. They can have some questions about your career opportunities in the field of this IT sector. As all of people know that due to this pandemic, how the IT sector is booming at present, and you can grab the opportunities to have a great developer, software developer. Your logic means your mathematics should be good. Uh, so he will just give an idea within this 1 hour or 45 minutes of his talk, and later on, majorly the participant will discuss to him. So this is all about his introduction and webinar. As per our department's concerns, we are 5 faculty members. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Babre, I am working as professor and head of Department of Mathematics here. My colleague, Dr. Nishank Pibre, he is also joining this. He is associate professor in mathematics. Other colleague, Mr. Vishnu Sonone, Mr. Shubham Khose, and Miss Shinde Shivkanya. All have taken effort to organize this webinar. And my students, my institute students, the students from MOU with RP College Latur and other participants from India. So I will hand over to you, sir. You can start your talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Meanwhile, what I will do, I will just stop the camera because
You can
it may
stop that.
happen that depending upon the bandwidth of the internet, so we will use the presentation effectively.
Okay, okay, okay,
So
okay, sir.
yeah, that is otherwise no issue. Uh, Okay, and in this lecture, what I am doing is I am telling some of the applications of planar geometry in the software industry. But as a mathematician, if who don't know the background of software and no need to have any background of software and programming and kind of thing, but I can I can just explain some of the things where mathematics is used in the IT industry and as a mathematician or who is studying the mathematics, you don't know how effectively we can use it and where it has been used. They always have the some questions in their mind that why we are learning so much mathematics, which is kind of difficult, and I am going for the groups and ring theories and many more. But I don't know where it has been used, and so no need to find out the much complex mathematics applications, but there are some simple mathematics which has a good applications in the IT industry, and they are using it in the software every day, and they are making the things better in the world. So that is the important thing. So there are a lot of things, a lot of mathematics has been used, but we are focusing on the planar geometry here only. Okay, so meanwhile, if someone has any question, then we will discuss it at the end. Don't hesitate to ask the questions, or in between also, if someone wants to ask, they can ask. But now we will focus on some of the words. So, as a mathematician, there always be two parts in the industry. There is a industrial work and mathematics. So, if you go for the engineering field, there are a uh, lot of subfields of the software engineering. They are not using the mathematics directly, but they are using the mathematics indirectly there. Okay, without mathematics there could not be the computer, the first thing is. But where it has been used, that is an important thing. So there are some of the fields in like machine learning. Everybody heard who was in the IT industry, there is a machine learning. And if you have the graphics, say if there is a television, or there is a computer, or there is a monitor, and everywhere there is a graphics. Okay, graphics. So now the people are making the banners at everywhere, but there is a machine who is making these graphics very easily, using within some time, and in within some time they are making the graphics on banners and they are putting the same. So that is all field, that is all application of mathematics where it has been used. So there are the some game development is there, robotics is there. In the robotics there are the lot of algorithms of graph theory. It has been used like the Strass algorithm and shortest path algorithm and such. If someone has an interest in doing this, then there is much more industry is waiting for them where they are making an application. But if you wanted to go in the application, or in the industry, you should know some of the background of the computer. And this is the lecture where we will explain. I will tell you some of the things where you can start. You can start learning on which kind of things you should learn so that you will get an opportunity. Okay, making an opportunity is important. Once you get into the opportunity, you can take your efforts and you will have the better things in there. So that is an important thing. So in this field, you will work directly to the required whatever the knowledge is there or mathematics knowledge is there. You can directly use the topics of calculus, linear algebra. In linear algebra there are the matrices, graph theory, probability statistics. Now the everybody hears that there is a machine learning, there is artificial intelligence, and there is a data structure or data science. Everybody say that do the course of data science, one bigger course you will have, whose lakhs of there is a fee of lakhs or 75,000 and such kind of things, and they are using. But whatever that these are the calculations, they require the background of statistics. Okay, statistics and mathematics, we can say. You require the background of linear algebra, statistics, and these kind of things. If you are able expert in that, there is a opportunity for that. Okay, so discrete mathematics is very important subject. If you go for the discrete mathematics, discrete mathematics subjects, there are the different topics there. It is not a continuous from start to it. Like linear algebra, we are starting from the matrices and we are going vectors and we are going up to the end of this, like finding the energy graph and up to there. Taking the vector starting and we are going taking end up. But in discrete mathematics, there are different topics we are taking. But that is very important because it has a different statistic, different things, and we are making an application of that. So important thing I want to like to share that there is a engineering, and engineering could not be the we could not remove mathematics and engineering, its togetherness. They are like a coin. So all engineering industries are using the mathematics directly or indirectly. So not only computer IT sector, but almost all engineering industries are using the mathematics. So, but to use this mathematics, you should have an knowledge of maths, or you should able to solve the complex real problems of mathematics to know it. And for that, you should know some of the computer languages are there. So if you want to communicate with the computer, so like if there is a newer person, someone is coming from the US or say Germany, you should know the German knowledge, German language, so that you can communicate with him, right? So similarly, if you want to communicate with the computer, you should know the some basic programming language, so that you can communicate. At least one language you should know that. If you have the different languages, then that is the advantage of this. So you can speak him with different languages, but at least one language you should know so that you can communicate with him. Otherwise, you could not do. So you know how to solve the problems as a mathematician using the pen and paper, but you should convert your knowledge in language which computer understands. That is an important thing. Then you can talk with him and you can give instructions to him, and whatever you will command him, he will do the work. That is an important thing. So let us go for the next. Uh, uh, what is a computer graphics? Once someone will heard that computer graphics, once you have the computer graphics word, then everybody understand there is a graphics. There is a 3D kind of thing. There is some of the things where uh, there is something in the computer or in the television or something, or someone can think about the monitor or television which is an old one, whose shape is like a television, and in backside there is a tube, and inside that something is going on. So that is called as graphics. Graphics is nothing but visualization in 3 dimensional, someone can say, in or 2 dimension or 3 dimension. It is a visualization, and someone can look at into that way. So that is a computer graphics. So the person who understands mathematics and understands programming language, who knows mathematics, then he can understand programming languages very easily. First thing, why it is so? because if you go for any or there is an evidence that if you go for any institute where the programming language teaches, they always start your program like using the mathematics operations. Like they will, in the beginning they will told you that make an addition of two numbers. After that they will give you the check whether the given number is prime or not. That is an evidence where all the programming language, if you want to explain someone, then mathematics helps. Even though all the programming languages uses mathematics in the background, that is an important thing. So therefore the person who knows or understands mathematics, he understands mathematics programming language very easily. So next thing is there are some of the industries, where you can approach if you know some of the basic mathematics, like who knows the good planar geometry and some of the good mathematics, and who knows the basic programming language or how to solve these problems in the mathematics. You can approach to the some Autodesk. Autodesk is very bigger industry. The person who will do engineering, he always knows the Autodesk, what a Autodesk company does and kind of thing. So Autodesk, even though their main headquarter of Autodesk says the Autodesk University, it is a lot of it is a even though it is a ocean of a knowledge of a mathematics and applications. Okay, all the engineering applications, all engineers are using the softwares of Autodesk. Okay, there is another company called Dassault System. So I have given some URLs also, tilbrush.com, rohino3d.com. It is also 3D kind of software where 3D kind of software where some of the things has been done. So you can approach these industries if if you are in the good mathematics and you have some of the basic knowledge of computer. So we will see in the next consecutive some of the slides that which kind of knowledge we wanted to have. But today we are focusing on the CAD, how the mathematics is used in the CAD. So here is one of the latest topic is machine learning and artificial intelligence. So where here also some of the mathematics and many kind of things logical, and depending upon the data, mathematical or statistical applications has been done on the data, and they are coming on some conclusion. So that is the thing. We will not go for the machine learning. You can see in the machine learning they are using, see here, I have mentioned here, if you know the some basic programming language like Python or R or C++ or C, and you know the mathematics, or you know the graph algorithms like BFS, DFS, shortest path algorithm and Dijkstra's algorithm, and this is a breadth first search and depth first search, such algorithms are there. So if you are able to do the implementation of this in the programming language, or you know if you are able to good this, then you can approach some of the industries where the if you know this kind of algorithms. So that is an important. It has a application in that. So machine learning and artificial intelligence is nothing but such kind of mathematics where the application is. Now some of the industries like IBM, BMW, TCN and Verbis, these are the using the artificial intelligence. Um, okay, there are many. Fourier transform is one of the where it has been used in the this Fourier transform is used in the image processing, and most of the tools of the image processing are using the Fourier transform. So if you go on the internet, there are a lot of applications. They have explained how it has been used, but you should have an interest in doing such kind of things. So see, every day we are seeing the Corel Draw, Adobe Photoshop, and such. They are using the Fourier transform in the background to clear the image, to make a blurred image, and to while removing the some dots and black spots and kind of thing. It has been used. So these are many industries. So our thing is not looking into this, but once you are able to if you are able to do this, or if you are able, if you have the knowledge of Fourier transform things, you can approach with this company to get an opportunity or to do something. Okay, now let us go for spatial geometry. So whenever you have the planar geometry means once someone will tell you that what is planar geometry, there is always a plane, line, dot, or point we can say, and parabola, hyperbola, circle, and such kind of things will be there. So these are the some basic entities in the computer or in the mathematics. So we always think like that whenever there is a planar geometry. So if there is a planar geometry in the mathematics, there is a parallel geometry in the computer. It is called as spatial geometry. Spatial geometry describes the structure of an object. For example, suppose there is a table. You can divide that table into different cubes. Okay, not only the cubes, but you can define as rectangular shapes. Like your main top is a rectangular shape. Different four legs are nothing but a rectangular shapes. Or even though, so such kind of things will be there. Sorry, mobile phone. Okay, so you can divide it into the different shapes. So that is a spatial geometry. Spatial geometry describes the from the point object it has been defined. Like if you have the table and if you take a top of the table, there are actually 4 plus 4 plus floor means 12, 12 curves are there. Okay, so 4 curves are the vertical curves, and horizontally there are the 4 plus 4 upper and lower 4 plus 4 curves. So spatial geometry describes object in different ways, like a point. After that there is a, so all the entities in the planar geometry called line, polygon, and kind of things, it has been, there are the different notation names. Okay, in the spatial geometry. So in the spatial geometry, Euclidean, it is nothing but Euclidean geometry, but in the computer graphics, it has some additional words or addition notations like a point, line, space, distance, distance, angle, surface, curve, such kind of fundamental concepts it has been used. Okay, now there is a logic. Okay, again, what is the logic? Logic and mathematics is nothing but everybody knows that that is a two sides of a coin. So you could not separate. Increasing one knowledge of one will increase the knowledge of other. Like if you know the better mathematics, then you have the logic, we can say. If you know the logic well, then you are good in the mathematics. So that is an important. So we wanted to go forward with this spatial geometry in the mathematics. So that is the one thing. So second thing or another thing I like to share you that what are the different mathematical challenges which you have to face in the CAD CAM industry. That is an important. Like some of the examples of a problem I have given here. Like, can you write a program to detect a shape of a part? Like depending upon the number of faces, number of curves has been given, and number of faces has been given, then can you detect the shape like a cylindrical, rectangular shape, or I beam? Or I beam is nothing but it is a I shape, or there is a beam, like if someone is doing uh, the roof of a sheet metal in our in front of the home, that is there are the beams, or it has a different I shape. Okay, so such kind of beams, can you, it is called as detection. Okay, it is called as detection of a shape. So can you write a program, or depending upon, or these all are the known objects like a cylindrical, or how many faces are there, how many how many planar faces are there, how many cylindrical faces are there. So depending upon that, can you write a program which will detect what is the shape it is. Another problem is bounding box problem. Bounding box problem is very important in the CAD CAM industry. CAD CAM means we will see what is the CAD CAM, but it is in the, you can say, manufacturing industry. So whenever, if you go in one hardware, there are the lot of nuts and bolts. Okay, so that is one of the part. So such kind of parts, it's called as part. They are making the parts. So for these parts, you, can you can you find out the bounding box? Bounding box is nothing but a one of the cube or rectangular shape where your object is fit. That is called as bounding box. Can you suppose one object is given, or for example, if you go for one and delivery, for example, there are Amazon, Flipkart, there are some of the things. So suppose you have ordered some of the element. Okay, some there is a one statue is there. Can you create a box which will fit this shape. That is an important, or that is important because if you have the bigger box, then it will increase your cost. That is important. So we should have the minimum box which will fit, and there should not be the lesser box than that. So in that case, it will not be the fit, proper fit of that object. Like if you have ordered one of the statue, then it should, that there should be the box which will be the exactly match with that. So once you have an object, then you should be able to find out the bounding box set. Or if you are manufacturing the bulb and for example, if you are manufacturing nut and bolt, you should able to find out the bounding box for it. If you make it bigger, then it will increase the cost, as well as it will increase the time of creating that box. So that is the problem. Or if you are manufacturing the nut, then there will be the, there will be the slug, or there is a, it is called as raw material. So before manufacturing it, there is a raw material, and it has been cut by the CNC, or we can say it has been cut by the laser machines. So these laser machines are cutting, it has been cut by the major laser machines. So before cutting it, it is very important that how many raw material you are giving. If you are giving the bigger box, it will increase the cost again, and again it requires the more time to cut. That is an important. So it is a bigger bounding box. Even though if someone will say that bounding box is you can take a maximum x, maximum y, maximum z, minimum x, minimum y, and minimum z, you can create a bounding box. But once you are but if you have the different same object you have in the, it is in the different angle, then it may happen that if you put that angle in the some 45-degree, then you require the lesser bounding box. So such challenges are there. So that is an important. So another algorithms is how can you find the graph or discretization, bfs, dfs. These are the geometry problems. Discretization means you are breaking this breaking your element in different elements. So that is an important, that is inside the CAD CAM. We will see some of the applications of it. So like some curve interpolation is nothing but breaking your curve, and taking some of the points on it. So for example, if there is a circle and you require, if you want to cut it in the circle, if you want to cut or create a circle from one of the sheet metal, then what you have to do, instead of cutting it in the round way, you can define some different points. And if you have the cutting machine which is cutting the, which is cutting only in the linear direction, then in that case you need to define many points on it. Okay, everyone can, as a mathematician, can understand that circle is nothing but a different lines connected together, small lines connected together. If you decrease the length of the small lines or different points, if you increase the length of a line smaller, then your circle will be the more finished, or it has a more finishing, we can say it is a more curvable. So you can think of curve interpolation. Curve interpolation means walking on a curve with some linear lines. That is an important. Now there are some of the problems like curve projections. Curve projections is nothing but if there is something, and like if in the computer there is some object and you want to see where its projection is going on, where its position is going on, if some object is there. So that is an important, that if there is a sun in one side and where projection is going on another side. So that is an important, that is very important in the making a building in the civil industry. So that is an important. So like if you are designing the kitchen and you are putting the different elements inside this, and there is a light, then it is very important that where your light is going on, or where the sunlight is coming, and at what part of kitchen it is coming. So people are thinking like that. So where inter projections are important. So some of the parts of the linear algebra like point, factors, and line, it has been used in this in the industry for such problems has been given. So I am just explaining, or I am just telling you some of the points. Knowledge of these points has been used. The If you go for the last problem here, there is a with check whether the point is inside or outside of project. So that is a point of a planar geometry, problem of a planar geometry, where whether you have to check whether the point is inside the object or outside the object. For example, suppose you are designing a building. Okay, and now if you someone wants to create a make their home, they are always going to the civil engineer, and they are making some designing in three-dimensional. And before manufacturing it, before building the building or building the home, they are showing you whole building on the graphics or in the computer in the three-dimensional. So whenever they are showing you the building in the three-dimensional, then there are the some algorithm has to be written which will show that whether the drainage pipe is inside the wall or outside the wall. So there should not be the concurrence into each other. Okay, they should not be crash with each other. Or if there is a one pipeline coming from there, then there should not be like one pipe is half outside the wall and half inside the wall, or like, right? So for that, such algorithms are important, that whether they are coming to each other or not. So, and that is different. If you go on if you take a cut from the horizontal cut, then if you look into it vertically, then you can see that that is an application of checking whether the rectangle and circle, whether they are touching to each other or not, we can say. So that is a simple problem, that whether the two circles are touching to each other, or they are cutting to each other, or they are one inside another, or rectangle and circle is one another. That is a simple thing, but that is used effectively in the IT industry, and that is an application of planar geometry in the mathematics. Okay, now again we will see in the, so such many topics are in the IT industry where this mathematics and planar geometry has been used. We will discuss one of the thing as CAD CAM. Okay, so as I already told you that there is a spatial geometry. So spatial geometry includes the B-rep structure. If you go for this simple designing, let me make this bigger. So whenever there is a 3D shape, whenever there is a 3D shape, it has been defined with different thing. Like this is a rectangular shape, but it has some different surface here, here top, this surface. And once you have if you move this surface up to here, and if we make this object, it will be the rectangular with this kind of two surfaces there and other things, but it is defined with the surface. So this is the surface, there is a cut inside the surface, there are different vertices, there are different curves, four curves are there in this side, again in this side there are the four curves. So defining your object in different mathematical models or mathematical entities, it is called as B-rep structure. It is called as boundary representation structure. It is a B for boundary representation. So boundary is nothing but some different curves has been defined. Four curves are there. Here again is a boundary. It is also a boundary, but which is inside boundary. So 1, 2, 3, 4 curves are there. Okay. So such kind of things. Right now we don't want to much focus on this B-rep structure, but it is very important in the CAD CAM industry. Now, this B-rep structure include such kind of entities, but you can relate all these entities with mathematical entities like point. We always have the point. Curve, we always have the curves. If someone will tell you that what is a curve, then it is a part of circle, or it is a part of parabola, it is a part of hyperbola or B-spline curves, and there are many more curves. So it is the edge, there is a edge, face, such kind of entities, but you can relate them with the planar geometry structures. Let me go to the what is a CAD. Let me focus on the what is a CAD. CAD is nothing but a computer aided design. Means before manufacturing something, we are designing it into the computer first. Okay, like if you go to the civil engineering, he is showing the building. So he is doing the CAD there. He is making your object or whatever you are manufacturing. He is designing it into the computer, and that is called as CAD, computer aided design. That is a design, we can say. So it is called as CAD, computer aided design. Computer is designing first. Okay, that is called as CAD. And so once you are designing, then you should able to modify it depending upon the requirement, and you should make the analysis of it. Now the in the civil engineering, they are making much more analysis, that if there is a if you go for, depending upon the temperature, how many resistance in there, and many things are there, so analysis is there. So you should able to make an analysis in the computer first. All things you should able to check in the computer first. That therefore CAD is very important, designing into the computer is very important, and making an analysis. So this is CAD. Now, CAD means simple thing is designing a object or something in the computer first before manufacturation or before manufacture. Okay. Now, if you can directly see that one, it is in the design, and you can relate some of the shapes to the mathematics. Like there is a planar face here. Now there is a cylindrical face for this red color. If you go for this red, there is a cylindrical face here. Now for this also there is a, it is not a exact circular face. This this is not exact circular face, but there is a curve which is a part of ellipse or part of parabola or hyperbola and kind of thing. There is a part of this. So we can think like this. So these many things. So that is called as CAD. And what is CAM? CAM is nothing but the manufacturing. Once you are able to design it, you should able to manufacture it. That is our role. Now the mathematician is giving the input as a designing also, but today we are focusing on what is the role of mathematician in between CAD and CAM. So there is a role. What is the role of there? If you are designing, all the machines who are manufacturing it automatically, they are accepting some of the program, or they are accepting some of the file, or they are accepting some of the commands. And these machines is called as CNC machines. So CNC machine, if someone has, maybe all of you have heard about the CNC machine. CNC machine is nothing but cutting machine. Someone can think about the cutting machine, or simple if someone wants to think about the what is the CNC machine, go to the radium, the person, or go to the shop where radium is they are cutting the radium. What they did in the before 10 years, if you go to the radium shop, you have to give the number of whatever the RTU has been given, and then he is making by cutting after 2 3 days using the using the knife and ruler. But now if you go there, he is directly putting something on the computer, and he will show the font how it has been done, and he is giving the command to the printer, and printer is directly cutting this machine. So for that, whenever we are doing like that, so that is a CAM. So it is there that what is that command, that is very important. Has that command is nothing but the coordinates, list of coordinates, where machine has to cut from this point to this point, machine has to cut a curve from this point to this point, again machine has to cut that is a sequence of mathematical entities or planar geometry entities like lines and curves. Okay, if you go for any number plate, it is a combination of lines and curve which is a part of circle or part of ellipse. That's it, nothing else. So you should able to, if there is an something there, you should able to create a list of such entities, and you have to give to the machine the sequence of that. That is an important for mathematician to given to do the programming for that. So the manufacturing is important in the CAM. So that is called as manufacturing. We will see more things there. So there is one more call. So computer aided engineering, or it is called as CAE. CAE is about the analysis of the CAD geometry and manufacturing them together and making them together whether it is workable or not, or seeing some simulation also, like define part of each other, and so we will not go much about it, no need to go up to there. But there is also mathematics, much mathematics has been used, so we will go further forward. So first thing is, what is a CAD process or how to design it? So there are two types of activities. First, synthesis and analysis. Synthesis is nothing but a qualitative and hard to capture on the computer. Okay, synthesis is largely qualitative. Okay, no need to much, no need to get into much about it. Just think about it is a design, and we have to design it on the computer. There is a way of designing it. Like someone will go in the paint, and he will able to do the draw the lines and curves. He will able to draw the shape there, right? If you go for the paint, there are the there are some circles are there, some different defined shapes are there, and you able to draw it. So designing is nothing but CAD is nothing but even though paint is nothing but the simple CAD. Okay, two-dimensional CAD, and you can define it. Let us go there. So that is a part of CAD. Now there are some software component where the CAD software has a different components where user can or it allows software allows user or designer to create on different shapes, and interactively they can store at one place. They can see whether two parts are connected to each other or whether they are, so such kind of things are there. So CAD, CAM and CAE, these are the three important parts of manufacturing industry. That is an important. Now now the simple thing is, if you want to imagine about the CNC machines, then have you seen how the lathe machine works? If you can go to the lathe machine and you can see how they are cutting thing, or have you seen the radium cutting works, how radium cutting works? That is an important. Again, there are the some names of the they are manufacturing the number plates in 5 minutes, or they are building all before manufacturing the building, engineer is designing it. These all are the CADs. Okay, or a simple part, if you are from the engineering, or if you have seen some of the engineers, so such kind of parts we have seen. Okay, and such kind of parts are available many of days. You are using the four-wheeler or three-wheeler, many parts from that they are manufactured in the IT using such kind of cutting machines. They are actually, there will be the rectangular part and they are actually cutting the machines. Okay, such kind of things are there. So this is a simple part where it has a two many faces there. One face is upper face, there is a down face. For each of the curve there are faces. There are two circular faces inside these two holes. So these are the faces. There are the many curves. For upper face, there are the many curves there. Two circular curves here. In below, there are two circular curves, and below also there are curves. There are many vertices. Vertices are nothing but the end of the curves. So from here to here, there is a curve, vertex. There is one vertex. There is one vertex. There are the vertex are there. Even though if you see, there is a word has been given, so there are the many curves are there. So there are the many things or the many parts of the car or bike or something there where their tagline or company name is manufacturer names, or if you go for the sliding window there is a Jindal or something kind of has been there. That is a mark, we can say that car mark is also defined. Now now the important thing is here. So there is a work of mathematician to create the list of commands, and these commands are nothing but coordinates. Whenever machine is cutting the things, there are whenever machine is cutting the things, you can see there is a G00 x minus 25 y 20, G91 x minus 10, G02. So whenever there are the different CNC machines, there is a different format of this tool path. It is called as tool path. Tool path is nothing but the cutting of this tool with a different. This is a path. This is one of the path. This is a circle. There is a circle. There is this. So this all the list of commands is nothing but cutting tool path. And you can imagine there is X, Y, I, J, F. It has a different meaning. X, Y are the coordinates. Whenever it will go for the next, it is giving only the changing in the coordinates. So first point is G00 is nothing but there is G00, G91. These are the G codes in the CNC machine. And now if you wanted to learn more about it, just go to the Google and type the, or you can note it down, what is the G code is there. G code. G0 is nothing but a without cutting. So directly go to the X minus 25, Y 25. Now there are the different G91. G91 is, so this G code or G01, G02, these these are nothing but different commands. Whether machine has to go linear or circular. Or G03, G02 is nothing. G02 is nothing but a circular clockwise. G03 is nothing but a anti-clockwise. Such kind of things there. IJK is nothing but a center, and XY is a starting point. Again go to the next point, so ending point. So F is nothing but a speed of a machine. So this file creation is very important for them, and mathematician understands very easily the geometry, therefore he can do the programming to export such kind of things or to create the such a file automatically instead of typing this one by one. Now if you see, if someone or some company wants to cut this using the laser machine or some machine is there, such list he has to put. He will go to the list line. So there are the different line. Computer will go for the first line, then he cut from this to this. Line always have the start point and end point. Again another line, then another arc is there. Then again go to the line. Again there is a arc is there. Again there is arc. So such he has to give the some list of commands which includes the coordinates. So for each CNC machine there are the different format accepted. Okay, only thing is one company will tell that I have the design. I don't know where you are manufacturer. I can give the design, but there should be some programmer who will read all the things and properly he can, depending upon the CNC machine, who can export the proper format it, and that is a work of CNC. So that is a using the simple planar geometry. Someone can directly enlist how many elements are there and what is the coordinates of there. That you have to do. But depending upon the format, he has to make the different format, and mathematician understands this properly. That is an important. So this we have seen. Now you can see in the left hand side, these machines has been, these are the nothing but the different points. G code are there. Some G01, G02, G03. G01 is nothing but a line. G03 and G02 and G03 are nothing but the circular curves are there. Curve is nothing but a part of circle, and some points are there. So to understand these many, this format is depending upon the NC machine. But I can assure you, all these are nothing but coordinates, and you have to play with the coordinates. That is an important thing. So what is the advantage of doing all of this? If you have the CAD CAM means designing in the computer and manufacturing it. Then what will happen? There are the many things affected there. Suppose someone wants to cut like this. Okay. Then it is very important in which sequence you are taking all these elements, because depending upon the sequence, its time of manufacture decides. We will see what is that, but that is called as nesting. Nesting means writing an algorithm which will give you the, it will go at all places in less time. So we will see. But that is, there are some advantage of this. It will increase productivity. It will improve the customer service, again the quality and kind of things. There are the many advantage of there. Now cutting a row into the part. So there will be the part which is before cutting, and there are the sort. So I like to show you one video which will show you how simulation has been done, or how the file will be read and computer is going to computer going to cut. Let me show you here this video. This will give you some of the idea that how computer is going is
हॅलो सर, आवाज येत नाही.
Okay, I am not talking. I am showing some video. Can you able to see the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay then. You can see here. This is a laser machine, okay, or some it has some different. There are the different kind of machines. There some machines are cutting the wood. There are some water jet machine. Water jet is nothing but the sending the water in the speed and putting some particles in it, and it cuts the object. Even though you can see the marbles and all this cut by the cutting machines. Some laser machines are there, some knife machines, and some kind of machines are there. Now if you want to give the command to it, then for them you can see it is cutting in the different shape. You can see here, and it is very fine. Even though it has a length very less, the mathematician is giving proper coordinates to him, that from here to here it has to be go. That machine has to. Machine understands only the language of coordinates with some specific format, and the mathematician's work is to design that file depending upon the part. There is only one some of the softwares which are doing the designs, but sending depending upon the CNC machine, we have to create a different format for it to give an input. For there are many CNC machines, and for each machine there will be the different formats. That format we have to match with it. So you can see here how it is cutting. There are the many angles. It has this this part also has some command that he is rotating in different way. Again this is cutting, so this kind of simulation will be there. You can see here how this machine is cutting, or how it is putting the some holes also there, and different shape is there. And even though they are doing this in the fine tune, so whenever you are decreasing the length of the line, that part will be the more fine. So all these are using the planar geometry inside that. You can see here one of the image is there. So here you can see this machine is cutting like that. Such kind of beams or elements you have seen maybe in the in daily using the things. You can see such kind of things. Um Even though this is actual photo of the laser machine, it is cutting some glass or something, sheet metal we can say. Okay, now we will go for the next. Even though if you go for this is nothing but a list of lines with it has a different angle also, whether it is in which direction it is, in what is the direction of a laser, it should be from the top. That is an very important. Depending upon that, our cut will be there. So there, if there is, it is called as bevel. It is kind of bevel. Bevel is nothing but depending upon the direction, such kind of things. So here we use uh, I want to show same images I have shown already shown to you. There is a bigger software called Sigma Nest that is also using this. um, you can see all these elements you see in the toys. All these elements has been cut using the machines. There is a fine tool. So here also they have designed and they have created a NC file waiting and given to the CNC machine. But for all this they have made the list of lines and curves, and they have sorted in the proper way, and then it has been given. Okay, this is where the one of the kitchen. There is a three-dimensional. There is a kitchen, and different elements has been added there, and there is a lot of mathematics, planar geometry, whether two elements are crossing to each other or not, and kind of things. So there is a planar geometry has been used. So simple calculations are the whether two cubes I have added, they should not be crossed to each other, kind of things. So important thing for is from where you can start to learning this. So there is a part of mathematics called polygons. You can check whether the given point is inside the polygon or outside the polygon. Such mathematical problems you can think of which has been used like this. So there is a winding number algorithm is there in the mathematics, and in that you can see if someone is interested to going into that, they can go. Just I am mentioning here, check whether the given point is inside the polygon or outside the polygon. Just you have to put a line here and how many times it has been cut here. If it is two times, then definitely that number is outside the polygon. And if you cut it in the odd number of times, then it is inside. Such algorithms are there. You can go and you can check. If you go for the drainage system, the civil engineers are doing, they are actually, whenever there is a manufacture, they are actually creating the part with the specific dimensions, and all these have the dimensions or in the 3D dimensions. And all these elements, creation these elements in the computer, it requires the planar geometry knowledge, that how they can fit to each other. Once you put one kind of T here, which has a Y-shaped T, then where that element goes and where that next element should be, such kind of planar geometry elements has been used, or application has been used in such designing in the CAD. So CAD is nothing but the designing. So whenever you are designing inside the computer, that calculation is very important here. So the components has been designed here. Now actual use of coordinate system, or Euclidean geometry, we can say, it has been used. There are some of the algorithms like checking the crashes and flow rate calculation. Flow rate calculation is not a actual application of only planar geometry, but it has some in the physics. There are many calculations are there. There is a pressure, so physics entities are also there. So we will not go for this flow rate calculations. But there is one other important thing for the mathematician, that if you want to manufacture like such kind of parts, okay, one part is a part, okay, and if you arrange like this, what will happen? 1 2 3 4 5 elements are there, 5 into 5 25 elements are there. If you use this shape for manufacturing it, whatever the slug area or remaining part which will not be usable in this case, and you could not create another part from it, okay. But if some mathematician will give the proper arrangement of these shapes like this, then they can manufacture more parts from the same raw material. Such kind of algorithms is called as nesting algorithms, and all the mathematician can think about such kind of algorithms or making its performance better. Even though rather than this, for cutting this shape requires less time for a machine. So this is very important. So such kind of algorithms has should be go for the analysis, or mathematician can design such algorithms to make this more readable, so that manufacturing industry will have the advantage. Now I'm giving some of the problems where the mathematician can do, and these all problems has been used in the IT industry, like a nesting of algorithms, sorting loop algorithm. Sorting means if you are able to sort all these curves, how it has been done. Then sorting algorithms, tilt rotor and check angles are actually the position of or angle of a laser cutting machine, in which angle it has been put. Say XYZ angle is nothing but tilt rotor and check angles, or we can say the vector direction of cutting. So such algorithms are there. RSA cryptography has application everybody knows is they are using the licensing, but there is nothing to do with the planar geometry. But tilt rotor check angles and tool positions are very important in the planar geometry. That is an actual. So there are the CAM keywords. You can go on the internet and you can search NTS. What is NTS? 4-axis and 5-axis. It has an application. And this is also nesting algorithms had been used to create. If you go for this shape, if this shape is put in the linear way, it will require the more raw material. But if it is in this shape, it requires or more parts will be created from the same sheet. That is an important. For such a kind of complex geometry, you have to define the uh, algorithms like that. So these are the softwares where the CAD CAM is done. Okay, these softwares are SolidWorks, CATIA, and 3GS technology is very interesting subject where user can see on the web. There is a three-dimensional video, three-dimensional view, and someone can explore into it. And there is a 3GS nothing but the 3DJS, we can say, and someone can create some of the step or newer mathematician can go for it, and he will get an opportunity in the industry. That how you can use it. uh, okay, this is very important slide, that from where you can start to learn so that you will get an opportunity. Like if you have the basic planar basic computer language, you should know that basic computer language. Either you can start with the C, CPP or Python, such kind of programming languages. You should able to write such kind of functions, or you should able to write out such kind of programs, that from, if you have given 2 points, how can you measure the distance between 2 points? How can you find out the intersection of three planes? Okay, that is a point. So if three planes are given, what will be there? But you should able to do the program for it. That is an important. I have just enlisted some of the things, like if you rotate one vector with some angle, then what will be the next vector from the origin if you rotate it or something. So such kind of programs you should able to write it in the basic programming languages, so you will get an opportunity in the IT industry. And where to approach, these are the manufacturers of CAD CAM software. So approach is this Autodesk softwares, means you can approach with the Autodesk. Whoever is the manufacturer of this, you can approach with that company to uh, to have an opportunity. So these are also some of the things, like you can solve the problems. I have just given. If you learn some of the basic programming, then you will understand what are these things. These are the different functions or some programs. You have to think of that. Like you can from the these words you can understand that how to find out the closest point of a line from the point and kind of thing. uh, this I have given you. Okay, I have given list of industries where you can approach. Dassault, Autodesk, these are the Roino3D.com, Mexicon. There are a lot of industries. If you go into the Pune, there are thousands of companies, lakhs of companies who are doing the such kind of things. You can easily approach them. Okay, so uh, anyone has any kind of question, so we can go for it, I think.
Questions from audience. You can unmute yourself and talk with sir. Any questions regarding your career opportunities? Any questions regarding your talk?
Sir, what education we should take for the appearing for the CAD and CAM?
Okay, so if you wanted to appearing for if you wanted to get an opportunity for that. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the important thing is, if you know the basic planar geometry well, first thing, for that you should learn the uh, in the planar geometry, like lines, planes and curves. Second thing is, you should able to understand, or you should learn some basic programming like a C or C++ or Python. If you have the both the things, you should able to solve the mathematical program in that programming language. And after that, you can approach such kind of softwares who are using the such a CAD in the backend. Then you will get an opportunity. Yes. Anything
Anyone
else?
else from MSc student?
See, nowadays, if you go for the MSc, there is a lot of things happen in the teaching field. There is a lot
You
of
can
saturation.
students. You can ask in Marathi as well as Hindi also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Language doesn't matter.
मराठीमध्ये बोलू शकता. मला पण मराठी येतं चांगलं.
Sir, hello.
हा बोला.
Sir, who is the best platform to learning programming language like Python, C or R?
For the Python or C programming, or there are a lot of courses available on the internet also. But if you go for even though colleges are also running some of the courses, if there is in your course there is an optional subjects of the computer like a programming language Python or R or something, then you can use. But you can choose any platform. There is no anything that this platform is only the best thing. Only thing is whatever the courses you are taking, even the college is taking or online is taking, that is only for 40%. Your involvement should be 60% there. Then and then only you can learn. You should practice it. It is like a mathematics that if you could not do like for the mathematics you could not do like the you only read and you understand. You should solve the examples like that. If you solve the examples, you take any platform and start learning it. If you solve the examples depending upon their instructions, you will able to learn it.
आणखी काही प्रश्न आहे कोणाचे? चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये प्रोग्राम संदर्भात फीडबॅक लिंक दिली, तुम्हाला दिसतंय का सर्वांना?
हो सर.
फीडबॅक फॉर्म भरा ते.
नो सर, दिसत नाहीये.
दिसत नाही का? बरं ठीक आहे. जे जे पार्टिसिपेंट केलेत इट इज ओनली 40 मेंबर्स. ओके, ठीक आहे. तुम्ही लिस्ट पाहून मी तुम्हाला शेअर करत नंतर फीडबॅक द्या किंवा ग्रुपमध्ये टाकतील.
सर लिहायचं का आता?
नाही नाही, लिहू होऊ नका. क्वेश्चन आन्सर चालू आहे आणखी. एनी क्वेश्चन्स?
नो सर.
No sir. Okay. It's turn on to put vote of thanks for the resource person as well as participant who have joined in their busy schedule. So I request Associate Professor Dr. Nishant Kumple to conclude and make remark on vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I'm here to express vote of thanks of today's webinar on the topic application of planar geometry in CAD CAM industry. So first of all, I'm very thankful to today's resource person, Mr. Sitaram Ranmal sir. He is a software developer from Sungrace Component Private Limited company from Pune. So he enlightened us the applications of planar geometry in various fields such as the basic mathematics like Fourier transform is used in image processing and image edition. Also, he mentioned that spatial geometry describes the object in different ways, and also planar geometry. He also focused on the rep structure and also give the application of computer aided design in various fields, also the computer aided manufacturing examples and the computer aided engineering system where we can use the CAD CAM and CAE in various fields. So he enlightened us with his knowledge, and he shared his knowledge to us in a very lucid language. I hope so all the participants could benefit from his lecture. Also, I'm very thankful to Mr. Sitaraman Ranmal sir for sharing his precious time with us through this webinar. Also, I'm thankful to all the participants who attended here or participated in this webinar from all over Maharashtra and other state. Also, a few are from other state. Also, I'm thankful to our HOD, Professor Dr. Mahesh Babu sir, for organizing such a webinar for all the students, and also I'm thankful to all the my colleague Shikana Shikde ma'am, Vishnu Sonami sir, Shubham Kosi sir, and all dear participants. So with the help of the permission of this organizer, I conclude that this webinar is come to an end. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you'll get feedback link regarding your WhatsApp group. You can fill up the feedback by half an hour. It will close later on. And those who have registered, their feedback will be considered. register as well as attended. The list of attendees there.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.